There we go. Welcome back. I have managed to get Twitch chat up, which means it's okay, guys. Naren and Zeka has found the emissary, and we don't need to play anymore. Thanks.
In the fridge.
He's in the fridge.
Just chilling.
Under the fridge.
Under the fridge, like with the dust.
I think I've got a character sheet that works, so it's all good.
Oh, good. Phew. Awesome. I mean, if we don't tell anybody, you could just be like, oh, it's combat, I roll 8 dice. It's talking, I roll 3.
Yeah.
So we ended last week with plans to go down into the cellar of Coriolis because we're looking for the secret base of these religious war criminal kidnapping people, and it's somewhere in the bottom of Coriolis. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Had visions of a elevator and a room and a place that they were hanging out.
Oh yeah, like a crash pad.
Yeah.
Yep, something like that. And we were going to do some shopping offline. Did we do any? Did we get any shopping? No.
No, sadly, real life and work. It's okay. I won't buy anything.
Okay. And then we were also going to try and find somebody who would be able to help us get down into the base of Coriolis. Perhaps somebody who might have been there once or twice, or have a contact in there, because the insides of Coriolis, the way sorry, I'm reading Twitch chat as well as talking, and I shouldn't. The way my brain sort of thinks of it, like if we want to parallel, it's a little bit like the down below, the brown sector of Babylon 5, you know, like it's got its own cultures and customs. It's got the waifs, the strays, the lost, or the hiding folk down there. They have the slummers, which are a combination of folks who've arrived on Coriolis and can no longer afford the extravagant living of the ring. Definitely would never get into the spire. And it's a mixture of people who've arrived looking for a new future, people who've arrived because they're amazing artists and they're looking for pay, and things just don't work out for them. They end up trapped down there. There's also folks who are involved in, well, things like what you guys did, smuggling and differently moraled trading, if you will.
We're practically a charity, like Drugs Sans Frontier.
Yeah, Drugs Sans Frontier, yeah, that kind of stuff too.
Good drugs, you know, medicine.
Yeah, medicine. So we maybe we should work this out together. So David, tell us about your character. Tell us about this person who's going to help us get into the base of Coriolis.
Okay, so my character is primarily a form of art dealer and food dealer. Essentially, what I want is art, and what I use to get it is luxury foodstuffs that I acquire via means that you're not quite sure, or nobody's quite sure, and that I sell on to those who are the ruling classes of, if you like, the underclass, to gang leaders, and so on. And what I get back is from that is, however they've acquired it, the finest arts and crafts, parchment, and so on, artistically, that I can acquire from within that area. Through doing that, I've essentially still working on my own, but I've acquired a certain level of prestige within this region. Is that fair, Millie? Do you want any more than that?
Yeah, definitely a reputation in some of the lower areas, which is good because it probably means you won't get attacked on sight. Some of the areas of the cellar are not that friendly to rich fools who wander down, which however unrich Zellion, Carvis and Kashar feel, they are about 10 million times richer than most of the folks down in the cellar. Okay. For reference, one of the people I saw when I was doing some research, their items include 6 burr. That's how. That's the reference for folks.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I started feeling poor because I started the game with 350 as a
Yeah.
frame of reference.
Yeah. These guys have like 6.
So I have 59 times the amount of money they do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So how do we know Aleph?
I have something of a reputation for the uncanny ability to locate outstanding art, no matter how low its origins. My uncanny ability to establish that some complete pauper has produced a poetic masterpiece and suddenly know of its appearance into existence. And it's perceived that I might be a useful person, therefore, to know that my ability to track down wanted things is rather uncanny, and that while maybe I use them for the purposes of trading in luxury goods of both an artistic and a culinary nature, that it might be used for other purposes.
Cool.
So you're like the smuggler's smuggler then, the gentleman's smuggler.
A gentleman smuggler, if you will, yeah.
Right. So perhaps in different times, they might be a rival to whatever your old Captain Sabitha was up to now.
It's so far removed from what I imagined we were doing. Like, I don't think we got involved in any high-end luxury goods at all. I think, well, maybe not.
Perhaps we were.
No,
simply
none
there
of
for
us have
food.
any culture at all. Carver's has got culture, but he's kind of thrown
Slumming it.
into this bunch of rat bags. Really, even Sabitha wasn't particularly highbrow.
No.
I think it might be someone that we kind of like knew of, but like didn't respect and didn't get their hands dirty, didn't do the real like frontier box dragging, gun toting, like train robbery, like Western like smuggling. It's just someone sat in an office with a
I
data
suppose
pad
if we
going,
don't
"Oh,
know
yeah, I'll transfer
anybody,
assets."
then the James Bond of the world is who we've got. Like the high, because you must be quite high profile then if you have all the friends in the wrong places. So we can.
A reputation that's kind of now through one way or the other, and maybe 1,000 or so burr persuasion.
Do we?
It's not that I just trade in these luxury items. It's that I know if some squaddy has, in his own time, written a story about his travels that would be sellable, I can get that. And I know that it exists well before that squaddy realizes that it's worth anything.
I see. I like it.
Okay.
Like there's a we know this, so we can find this, and we can get there kind of thing.
It's that basic. It's that D&D thing of is it the criminal background where you know a guy?
Yeah.
Is it Aleph's the guy that knows a guy? So even if we don't need him, like he'll know exactly who we do need him, who we do need to talk to, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I like
maybe.
that. That's cool.
Maybe.
All right.
So getting down into the cellar, it's entirely up to you, David, in the method. There are at least 2 methods. Well, no, there are 3 methods to get down there. You could navigate your way into like Stevedore Central, like the workings, where who did Althea, who did the girl run away with? Was it
Me.
Yeah. So that way that she's shown you, somewhere in there will be some long way down. You could probably find a lift or something that would take you past the traditional thresholds of Coriolis, and then you'd have to get out and you'd work your way through. There is a lot of the maintenance of Coriolis is done by those who would be arrested. Yeah, then the guards, the Coriolis guard, will take the work teams into the upper levels of the cellar. Like, you don't go that far, but those kind of places, and they will do the grunt work. So you could maybe bribe one of these groups to go down. Or then there is literally just climbing down the central core of Coriolis, which, if goes wrong, you'll fall straight into the fusion reactor.
That sounds awesome. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. So it's to perhaps when we meet up with David's character, we are at the beginning of one of these three, rather than trying to negotiate, because we're going to pay them a bunch of money. We know them by reputation and that kind of stuff. So how do we want to descend into the cellar? Is there anything that your character Alif would just veto straight out? You wouldn't even present them these options?
Not sure I understand the question.
All right, so there are three ways. We've got to head down into the cellar. These reprobates have hired you to do so. The choices are a very dangerous climb, and if we mess up, we could fall into the fusion reactor of Coriolis.
Let's jump.
Never
Let's
to
go.
be heard of again. The second option would be there's no doubt disused elevators, lifts, if you will, if you're English. Disused lifts, stairs. It's a safer but more an easier to get lost route. Or we can bribe some of the Coriolis guards to go down as part of one of the work crews, but that leads us into other parts of other parts of, and if we don't bribe the enough guards, we might end up being either arrested by the guards or shot at
Come on.
by the guards.
You know you want to. Let's just jump.
So these guys have come to Aleph. Tell me how to pronounce your character's name, because I keep going to go and say it both ways wrong.
Aleph.
Aleph. So these guys have come to Aleph and went, we need to find some stuff. We hear you can get down into the cellar and you're good at finding things. And then you get the choice of like, so was there any of those three options that Aleph would just be like, nah, that's not happening?
Aleph doesn't like
Aleph would not
stairs.
jump into anything now.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
We definitely die, James.
yeah. What a way to go,
I
though.
want to do it.
So we're looking at maybe a disused service lift and
Yeah,
stairwells, or bribing some guards.
Okay, I mean, if I think I would definitely prefer to avoid the guard, especially as we're, what if they're waiting for us on the way back up?
So,
I think if we try and bribe the guard, we run into the problem of those guards speaking to the pariah disguised guards potentially, and going, "Oh yeah, we'll let a bunch of reprobates down in the thing," and them going, "Oh really?" Off we go.
I
The
would
less
feel like one
people
quick
know
radio
about
call
us.
later, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Jeff, they're coming to you. Kill them.
yeah. The less people that know, probably the better.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So we'll ask Aleph for a back door, essentially downwards,
Okay.
to disused tunnels, secret entrances.
Hey, may I use my infiltration skills?
Yeah.
Okay. So I do I roll for this?
You don't have to roll for this unless you want to run the risk of it going wrong. Or you want to?
Let's
In which case we roll.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, let's all assist with Aleph's infiltration as well.
Cool. I think that means you get a dice from each of us.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. One. So that'd be plus
Oh.
3 to your infiltration.
Yeah, plus 3 dice.
Plus 3 dice. Yeah.
Okay, if it's a skill that I have, how do I incorporate that?
All right. So you're gonna. What is infiltration? It's based on agility, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
you're gonna take your agility score,
Yep.
your infiltration score, and then you're gonna add 3 more dice to it, and then that add agility score, infiltration score plus 3, and then we're gonna
That's
roll.
how many dice. That's how many dice you roll.
Yeah, that many d6s.
Okay.
And
How
And
many
one
sixes?
six,
No
one
pressure,
six is a success,
but we
but the more
expect all
sixes you get, the
sixes.
better it is.
Hey, shush you. Why are you not playing Sirenscape? I have got this going.
Okay, so that's 2 successes.
Nice. All right. So we meet Aleph in the underbelly of Coriolis, like a couple of service levels and that kind of stuff at a lift shaft, which after going around and through different things and seeing, essentially, I imagine it's a bit like the luggage at Gatwick, where there's just things flying everywhere and all kinds of stuff flying up and down. We meet them at this elevator shaft, which should take us most of the way down. It'll take us down to...
Will it take us down if we jump in the empty shaft and jetpack?
We don't have jetpacks, though. That's the serious drawback here.
That's only about his dream.
Existence is belief. If I think it's real, it is real.
Whee!
Are you bringing some of your philosophy to my RPG session?
Also, the
Yep.
ground is very good at believing in itself.
All you've got to do, right, is jump the whole way, and then if you get close to the bottom, you just jump up a little bit, and it cancels all the momentum, and you're fine.
Oh,
That's
okay.
exactly how gravity works.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
I've seen that Mythbusters episode. It doesn't end well for the dummy. All right. So we're there. Now, where do you want the lift to go to, Alif? Where have you planned this? Where do you think this lands? Does this go to somewhere like the Slumber Queen's Court? Does it go to a sort of no man's area? Have you used this lift before?
Yeah, so I have my own kind of little headquarters, which is quite well disguised if you don't know where you're going, but it's quite a little luxurious caravan type deal that I find myself setting up in this region, where I can hold a quiet meeting with these people
Okay,
to see what they want and to see what I can get from them.
sure. So we all board the lift. It drops us down hundreds of floors. Like we're going down like a whole Empire State kind of drop. Zellian thinks if the brakes on this ended, we could need some jetpacks.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find a jetpack store and we'll all buy one.
I'm
Do I
gonna
get
see
any
how
sensations of this lift being similar to the memories that I had, or is it a different lift?
You had dreams of lifts?
You read the...
He
I
had
read
a
the thoughts
vision.
of a man who had dreams of
Oh,
lifts.
of course you
Yeah.
did, yeah.
So, it's not as fast. It's not as stomach churning, which either means they've got a lift that goes further down. What you might notice is that the lower you go, the lesser the gravity. So that's possibly what kind of makes the sort of rock. Or they've got one lift that just goes all the way down. But you think, or Aleph might tell you, we're only really 30-40% of the way down. And if these guys have got a base from the intuition that Carvus had, they're much lower.
There's definitely another lift somewhere. Goes deeper than this one. Faster too.
I mean, if this was the only lift, it wouldn't be a secret one, really, would it? It'd be the only
No,
one.
it's true. I'm getting unnerving.
So the lift stops and it opens, and there is this. It's much dimmer. The roofs and the corridors here are much smaller, but obviously Aleph is quite comfortable here. This leads to his oasis, really, his safe part of Coriolis. What's it like? Is it like a because the Coriolis is built from a generation ship. It's built from the skeletons of this ship that travelled for thousands of years to get to the other side of the galaxy, kind of thing. So what is this small rooms, these parts of Aleph's office like?
Yeah, so they're kind of cordoned off from everywhere else, not really with walls or anything of that nature. It's more of a any kind of shawls, any rugs, any carpets that have been there. They've been used for many layers. You kind of get your way through them. And as you get close to the center, you can smell more and more delicious things. And you maybe hear the occasional little bit of noise coming from the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you find a very small community of around 20 or 30 people. Yes, and as I say, they've collected most of anything that they found on the floor that is soft, anything that is pillows, cushions, anything that is of this nature, or that has come from a hide of an animal.
Nice. So yeah, there's this sort of luxurious, by comparison to the rest of the labyrinth, the cellar, kind of area, and what do we? So we head over to it. And is this where we're going to start, like, the negotiation of what do you know, how can you help us, and where's it going? Where we go from here? Is that?
Yeah, there's a central space to all of this. I sit down on a cushion. There is a tray of mansa that gets brought in. I have for everybody a drink.
I'll take a drink.
I'll accept 3 things.
Yeah.
What is it?
A sour cherry. It's very
Not
nice.
interested.
No,
It's
I'm
not
afraid to tell you,
Musicola.
it's not got Musa in it in some regard. It won't
I am
drink
brand
it.
loyal.
All right.
What exactly are you looking for?
We know you can get us to places that most don't know about, and we're looking to find where these pariahs are hiding out down in the cellar. Now, I know that they're missing a shipper, shall we say, someone to take goods from point A to point B. And the initial idea was to get them on that scent. But if you've got another way down, if you know of another way through this cellar, the underground, this underbelly, then that would be more useful to us if we can get there without having to expose ourselves too much.
It's information as well, isn't it? Like, we know there's some pariah mercs down here somewhere, and they must stand out. Someone you know must have seen them, Aleph.
I had visions, and I've seen that they're deeper down. I know they're somewhere down.
When you say you have visions, is there anything distinct to these pariah people that you would like to find? Clothing, perhaps? Is there a item that they have with them?
Nothing in particular. I don't think there's an item in particular that they have with them.
Didn't we find some religious iconography on the dead pariah? Didn't we find like a symbol on her or him? Can't remember. Like when we found that body.
I don't
Or
believe so. The last symbol I remember is the black lips, but that's from
The Berber
Berber
symbol.
Berber seal.
we examined one of the bodies, so if we didn't find anything, then yeah, there'll be
I don't think there's any
nothing
cult
distinct.
symbols.
Hang on. Let me check that dude.
Coriolis, would the pariahs need a special priest to observe their religion, or can you do that anywhere?
They would ideally have a church of the judge somewhere.
That's not unusual, I don't think.
Do they? Yeah. I mean, it might be
It does,
down here.
I mean, they're all wearing, or they had, standard Coriolis guard uniforms, but they were packing Vulcan carbines and crickets, which is kind of higher lethality gear than the normal
yeah,
guards
it's
wear.
like army gear with police uniforms.
So, and it's you wouldn't normally find guards, I don't imagine, in sort of that level of number unless they're on a specific raid mission. For them to just be here, I gotta watch. It would, I imagine, would seem unusual.
And people must have seen them going up as well, thinking about it.
Another
But-
thing, I'm not sure if you've heard in passing, is the Real Sanatorium would be the wording of it.
I think that's on Kua.
You think it's on Kua?
Yeah, I think that's where they're transporting them
Could
on Kua. I
be.
think the circle where we are now, or the basement thing, is their transport hub, and it's where the smugglers from the rings bring them to, and they transport them off to the Real Sanatorium. I think that's on Kua, from what I gathered anyway.
So
Not
what
that I want
we-
it to be.
So what we need from Aleph is to join the dots for us. Like, we know there's an illicit spaceport somewhere. We know there's people walking around in Coriolis guard uniforms, but with heavy weaponry. We know there's people going up.
Yeah.
It must be unusual from down
If
here
it-
and bringing others down.
Is
Yeah, well,
there
where are they?
particularly a place where a lot of Kuan style clothing has been picked up from? Because if they're shipping to and from there, then I would imagine that would be they would be bringing up fabrics.
They brought in the vibro rounds from Kua as well that we use on the Emissary, so they will have been
The
bringing...
vibro rounds
Yeah.
are something that's rather unique. Yes,
Yeah.
there would be no other vibro rounds.
Yeah. So anyone that's seen anything like that, especially because that's come from Kua and that'll be transported in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Specialist ammo that you won't see anywhere else. I mean, they could easily sell or trade that to get whatever they wanted as well.
And looking at it, when I spoke to the arms trader, they said it was definitely, well, they're pretty sure it was Kuan mercenary tech that something all the rebels down there had been making, so that'll be a signpost as well. Basically, we've got all these things that we know are happening, we just don't know who's doing it or where.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
that's why we
think-
need someone with more connections to kind of
Yeah. I think
point us.
Okay, this is interesting. I may be able to help you a certain amount, I would imagine.
Everything's been quiet.
Excuse me one moment, and I'll get somebody to come in and let loose a bit of incense.
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
Big brazier wafts around. I don't know, is it like sandalwood and what else?
Frankincense and myrrh.
Frankincense and myrrh. Yeah.
Number gold.
No gold.
I would like to first of all ask, could you possibly draw for me this religious symbol?
Sure, I will draw for you.
Sure.
What do you want me to roll for drawing?
Just a hint of lavender. To just draw the basic kind of icon that they have, like the judge. I don't think it'd be too hard for Carvus to just do it, given that he is a preacher and he's probably, this is not an official thing. It's like a deviant graphitic version of the judge icon.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'd be too hard. I don't think you need to roll to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, I will draw the symbol for Aleph.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find what the symbol was for the judge.
They're not from Kua, are they? They're from another planet.
No. Well, the Order of the Pariah are from Pariah Land.
Yeah, what was the other planet? Like the guy we found and the blood
Talos.
we found.
Talos. No.
Was it
That's-
Talos?
Zalos.
Zalos,
That's it.
Zalosian.
Zalos.
Yes, and a lot of Zalosians is the other piece of the puzzle, which is a planet.
Yeah, I'll draw the sword of the judge
Yeah.
They put Zalosian on.
in the
else did they get
Zalosian
behind?
style.
Yeah.
Just
Sort of
rub Zalosian on. Or else you get the hopes.
hand that over
Sorry.
to Aleph.
Okay,
That's the symbol.
some of these things may take a little time. However, I ask you to enjoy the lovely food and drink that we have to offer here. It is distinct and something that you might not be able to find anywhere else. And I would like to use clairvoyance.
Sure.
And
Filthy
I would
mutant.
like to find, if I may, the last person on this floor
Mm-hmm.
who has borne witness to this symbol outside of the group that we're just in.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And I try and get into the shoes, ideally, of a very poor individual who maybe has seen this image in passing.
Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah, we can do
Maybe it's seen something that they shouldn't have seen.
that. Right. Can you roll mystic powers for us?
I must
So-
admit, I did not expect another mystic.
He is uncannily good at acquiring things.
That
Yeah.
is true, and I should have put those things together.
Yeah, I sort of guessed.
Well done.
But yeah, roll mystic powers for us.
Feels
Um,
mystic.
So
Quite true.
empathy plus mystic,
How about it?
and we need at least one success for our.
I'm just reminded of the cab
At least
driver.
one success.
Total Recall now. It's like I don't even have any kids.
One success exactly.
All right. So so we sit down. This incense is flowing around. What does it look like when a leaf is doing the clairvoyance? Is it quiet contemplation, or is it like speaking in tongues and eyes rolling back? Does he have to leave, or
Intense screaming.
harsh?
Heresy intensifies.
No, it's the incense is brought in as a part of almost a semi-ritual. What it mostly looks like is intense concentration. Sorry to be boring.
No, it's fine. It's good.
There's no ritual dancing.
You'd have to be edgy like me and bleed from an eye.
All right.
His original character name was Edgelord.
Yeah.
So as you're sort of divining this, the clairvoyancy, sort of letting your third eye cast itself around Coriolis, you hear in your head a poem, a song. I open the first door, a small and dark room. A tiny slumber passes by outside. Causing the drapes to move, I open the second door. Friends, you drank the dark waters. You thought it made you invisible. Third door, a spacious room, without a view, cascading sparks, eaten by the silence. Fourth door, a well-lit shaft. I provoke and I scream, the dirty remains of memories. Fifth door shut. None out, none in, blue. The door number 6 says click. I say, die, Hatch, die! We cry together, like we used to do. The 7th door, I just walk past it, an outlaw. There is no 8th door. But a 9th, a dripping frame. When everyone cries, things become wet and warm, like no one. So you hear this strange poem, and you see a man. He is walking through a place you know, the Skavara market, maybe a couple of layers down from where you are. He's walking through the Skavara market, examining fiber optic cables as he's muttering to himself this poem. And he's dressed in it's a very carefully constructed set of rags that, as you watch him, you can see they're actually part armor. That's put together from many different places, and a name comes to you, and it is Bathos Imud.
Did I notice that he's doing any sort of mystic abilities, or is it too? Because I obviously then would also assume that mine get noticed.
You might get the idea. Like he's intensely studying, and I think yeah, I think it takes him. How he's going to divine this information just from staring at it. But it's one of those, like, he could also be one of those weird techno people who has, like, the data in their head and he's sorting through that.
Yeah,
So,
going through security cameras and things
yeah,
like that.
so it's that weird level of, this is not all normal, but which not normal is it?
Yeah. Right. I just sit and enjoy food while it's happening.
Yeah,
It is amazing food. In fact, you're fairly sure that some of these like delicacies here are actually from home, like actual Mirren macaroons.
That's impressive. Very expensive, especially for down here.
Yep. Also, how did he get them here this fresh? Yeah?
Yeah. Better not to ask the question.
Best not to ask
Wormholes.
questions, just
It's
enjoy the
wormholes.
macaroons.
He has a wormhole to a bakery and he's dropped them in.
Yeah.
Well, on the ground.
Yeah, catch them. Thinking with portals. I love it.
I think I might be able to help you, sir. In exchange, what exactly is it that you're looking to achieve that might be of interest to my purposes?
I mean, we have Burr, if that's what you're after.
Burr only gets you so far.
We're also... I'm not sure exactly how you're obtaining this information, but I can hazard a guess.
Yeah.
And the people who come after the people we're looking for will come after you as much as they'll come after me, as much as they'll come after anybody with our gifts.
Gifts?
These people aren't particularly caring in who they take. And we intend to put a stop to it and go down and find them and deal with them.
Very well, and I will ask if anybody does ask about these activities that you hear. You refer exclusively to how outstanding a merchant I may be, and what a phenomenal artistic eye that I may have.
Of course, we will
And
make sure
all
to sing
of
your
the
praises.
wonderful information that I get with my connections.
I know how to play the game. Don't worry.
Very well.
I will.
I will firstly tell them about this figure. I will deliver the name Bathos Mood. I will not deliver it as though I have seen any kind of vision. I will continue to play it as though I may have acquired this information by possibly other means.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that he has been seen under these circumstances, and that he has been overheard reciting the poem that has been spoken here. So you now all have access to the knowledge of this poem, so that I don't have to remember my own.
I will copy the poem another time and put it in chat so you can marvel at Bathos's excellent
I'll lean
lyrical
over
mystery.
to Zellian and say, is it worth mentioning that if he likes art, we could kill some more juggalos and increase the overall level of art in the world?
Oh yeah, because
'Cause,
street mimes.
they are juggalos.
You'd be surprised how many of the most
living
influential
statues.
people of our society actually have an interest in juggalo produce. The outward
Clearly,
I
I
don't
haven't
think
gone in
the
the right
juggalos-
circles.
surprisingly appreciated.
Well, the good thing for Aleph then is that demand for juggalo produce has
Yes.
just massively increased because we have reduced the
The
production
supply.
supply massively. Yeah, so move on the juggalo market now if you want to make
That's
some
right.
quick
But
cash.
were they all real juggalos?
Juggalo stocks.
Oh, we don't know. do
Either
we?
way, they killed juggalos to get their positions. So either way, they might have just done it and we've just down the chain.
I think they were jugglers.
Okay. So, do we
I
know where
feel
this
it
guy
would-
is? This.
Well,
boss?
I would have thought that unfortunately, because he has been seen possibly with some armor beneath his clothing. Otherwise, I could have just had him brought using my connections and brought here. However, he may be a little bit more challenging than be able to do that. So we can go to the Skavara market if I pronounced that correctly,
Mhm.
and I can probably get us there subtly.
If you've got a description of him, I'll scope him out in the crowds. I'm good at spotting people, and then we'll go and politely talk to him.
Yes.
so we should be
If you
able
could
to get you-
lead the way, Aleph, that would be most helpful.
I can certainly get you to the market.
Okay then. Well, should we go then? Quite up. Had some nice drink. Had some amazing food.
Good
Don't
food.
know idea what any of it was called, but it was all delicious.
I'm sure Carvus could point out different things to you.
I could, but I'm
That's-
sure
That's got to
Shah's
be
not listening. He's
tea
just too
from-
busy eating.
Zelian is
No.
like, nope,
I've had no interest in this fancy stuff.
no
Free
fancy
and
moves.
delicious is an excellent.
Look at all
combo.
this Musa-less food and drink.
It is like,
It's like-
ash in my mouth.
It's like heaven.
Probably has some rare flavors of ramen for you.
Who'd have
Yeah,
thought you'd come to the shittiest part of Coriolis to get the best food?
It's like it's just great. I'm pocketing whatever I can get away with.
This
Well,
fancy
it's
gold
actually-
robe
I
full
believe
of
that is-
chicken.
It's just
Oh,
full
in
of
the pockets.
pears.
Sorry,
Al-
David.
Aleph kind of has a he's mostly dressed in an all black tunic that has a kind of burnt terracotta scarf around his waist and comes over his shoulders. And attached to that is a strap that has, rather than bullets coming out, it's basically little pellets, each full of an exotic spice.
Oh, so good.
Nice.
I'm just imagining that Turkish like chef with the sprinkles now. Like,
Yes.
I had to descend to hell to find heaven.
Yes.
I want to see if Aleph can turn into Gordon Ramsay at some point. We're going to do an idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich.
right, so
I
if
don't
we,
cook- I don't cook myself, you understand. I leave that for other people to do.
Good plan. Okay, so we head out, twisting paths and strange corridors, lift stairwells that go down and end in walls, but as you jump over the banister or it's been cut so that you can then climb through or duck under through a what was an air shaft now connects to that. It's a strange twisting and turning. How anybody who found these ways in the first place is beyond, but you have a guide to get you through this as Aleph leads you to the Skavara market. And as you head down one particular corridor to the entrance to the market, you can hear growls and yaps and whining up ahead, which is the sound of these Skavara, which aren't humans. These are the intelligent creatures. One of the intelligent creatures of the horizon. One of the folks of the horizon.
aliens.
Yeah, original people who were here before the humans came.
Nah, we claimed it, so now they're aliens.
and said, "This is our home now."
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the Skivara description.
Get back to where you came from.
How-
We the bad guys?
Like, are lots of people armed down here? I'm assuming kind of not because of the level of economy.
I was going to ask that. Are we okay carrying weapons openly, or whether it's still a case of hiding in pockets and stuff?
It depends on like the Coriolis guard do not come this far down into the cellar. We are over halfway down the length
Then,
of the ship,
yeah,
the
then I'm
station.
definitely rocking my carbine.
Yeah,
100%.
so
Yeah.
it depends on whether you want to be seen as big, bad, scary folk or cautious, approachable folk.
Well, I know which path I'm taking.
Cautious approachable, I'm telling you. That's not who you are.
No.
Is there a middle
I'm a-
ground of heavily armed and approachable?
But
And unapproachable.
hey, I'm not going to shoot you. It's just here for entertainment purposes.
I must look like
Fine.
a golden goose with my full gold
Mm.
robes.
That's why I'm rocking a carbine, so no one looks at you and thinks,
Have you ever seen
take him.
pictures of the, like, in the States where they have the open carry things and people are just like dangling 7 assault rifles off them?
In a Starbucks
Like,
queue.
really incongruously. That's what we look like right now.
what I'm imagining is coming to America, you know, when Eddie Murphy's Prince first gets out in New York and he's on this royal regalia. That's Martin in the middle of like
That's
New
yeah,
York.
Scarver's just
Yeah,
cloth of gold. All right.
yeah.
So these Skivara originally from Amido, and traders brought them to the Algol. So Zelian and Kashar would know Skivara, would have seen them before. These badger-like, semi-intelligent creatures. So they're
I love them.
probably about shoulder height at full size.
Big badger.
Oh my god, I want one.
Yeah.
Like a panda
You
badger.
can't. Well, you can because they're not actually people because they're just semi-intelligent things.
Or creatures.
They love to collect all sorts of colourful and shiny knickknacks. City-dwelling Skivara will braid or weave copper wires and things into their fur, and they only seem to wear clothes, mostly capes.
They're getting cooler and cooler.
I know, yeah.
Mostly to wear capes and that kind of stuff. Humans have, over hundreds of years, tried to train Skivara, but just failed because either they consider them too stupid, too sort of like distracted, or they've given up before they've got very far. So people have tried but given up.
Is there a picture of one? I'd love to see an artist impression of a Skivara.
I'll have a quick Google. Why don't you can carry
Yeah.
on? Oh, you got a picture.
I've got a picture, but that's it in the book.
Do you want to hand it to me?
Yep.
Yeah, you show the guys. Up there.
Ah, cool.
There you go. That one. Can you see?
Yeah.
Skivara. They look like gnolls to me. Like I
Yeah.
know we're on a
Down a bit.
yeah
It looks a little hyena-like.
a hyena or a gnoll or a, but they're badger-like
It
creatures.
looks like it's wearing a basketball jersey.
Yeah.
It's got, like,
I
numbers.
just want, I don't care how it happens, a sidekick of a giant badger in a cape with a basketball jersey and like gold metal like gems in its hair. And I want it to be collecting shiny things, and I'm gonna make that happen. For the rest of the
They
campaign. Can I kill off Zelian and come back as a Skivara?
we'll
But-
see.
Can you be your own sidekick?
We'll see. Aleph might know that though they know you're a food trader, but they sometimes ask you to import capybara.
Is that what the Skivara eat?
Well, no, they don't ask. They just ask for capybara.
I don't ask any of those questions. Why is a dangerous thing to ask?
It's true.
Business.
A little knowledge is a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, capybara. So you can hear this market, this yips and the yows, which is the Skavaran natural language. Like they're some of them will be able to speak. What is it called in Coriolis? Zeni. Zeni Basic, which is like the trading language. But their mouths and stuff are not necessarily. Their natural physiology does not make it easy to speak very much. So it's an interesting way to communicate with them, to say the least. But yeah, you can hear this market up ahead. You come out into steps lead down into a huge open hall. You can see this market set out. There are tents. Looks like a souk of Coriolis has been transposed and brought all the way down here. But where you would normally see in Coriolis towering, beautiful structures, to one side you've got what is probably a water tank. And then the other side is probably like a processing machine for the water or oxygen reclamation machinery. Instead of graceful pillars of Kuan marble, this has got like, bright green tubes that go from floor to ceiling that are probably leading clean water or oxygen or stuff around. So it's an odd contrast, but you can see as you look down this market, it is thriving. There is mostly Skavaran folk in here, but there are the odd human folk wandering around. Over to the far side, and Zelian would spot them, because being an ex-legionnaire, the other semi-intelligent race in the horizon is the Nakatra, who have been trained as like attack beasts in the Legion. And not so long ago, there was a news report talking about how the brutal surgery of genetically, bionically altered Nakatra were on the Rosali and all kinds of conspiracy theorists about how terrible the Legion are and that kind of stuff. But the Nakatra are like big old, I guess kind of like panther-style humanoids. They do also speak a limited form of common, but yeah, having seen them before, Zelian would definitely spot them straight away. And they seem to have an enclave on the other side.
I was really hoping they'd be like giraffes, because I like the idea of attack giraffes.
The person who runs this market, like the person who is in charge of this market, is a Skavara called Owl. Owl, as they say.
Carl.
Owl.
It's like Carl.
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 Yeah, his name's Carl now.
I guess I'll look at Aleph. I mean, do we ask for the guy, like Bathos? Are we going to just walk around looking?
Well, I have a couple of debts to just sort out, a couple of collections to take. So let's see if we can acquire any information while we're doing this. So the first thing that I would like to do is to go to a sketch artist that I've recently commissioned in exchange for a small vial of saffron.
Mm-hmm.
Who has done a series of stunning sketches of home.
Oh, okay.
So
for me.
this is your wallet then that you're wearing.
It is exactly that. And I'll just explain. It is quite amazing what people will give up in order to get a taste of home.
So what's the sketch artist called?
Kanja.
Okay. They see you. They are like, Aleph, did they love my art? What did they think? Tell me.
They were thoroughly appreciative. They consider you to be one of the very finest of your abilities available.
So I'll be able to go to the ring soon. They're waiting for me to come to the top of Coriolis and show them more art.
Your reputation is growing by the week.
Ah, yes. Oh, thank you for this.
I am ensuring that your name is out there.
Yes.
You are being well spoken about. In the meantime, this should be a lovely taste of home for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I wouldn't by any chance, just on your travels, if you come across the name Bathos Inu by any chance.
He thinks. He says, not many folks tell me their names. What do they? And you can see he's done like hundreds of studies in the market, like just folks.
So can I perhaps have a look through these sketches that you have? These figures?
Yeah. And he hands over like, and it's stuff that's drawn on, like, from scrappy bits of paper. There's probably somebody's. It's supposed to have been shredded, but he's now drawn over it. It looks like one of those. What do they go? Those scrapbook things that people reclaimed materials. Some bits are on thin bits of plastic, and he's glued, stuck things down and then drawn over them. Other bits are like charcoal. He's obviously made himself in some way to draw with. Hundreds of them, just like a sheaf of these stuff, and he puts up this basket to show you, and says, yes, well, look.
I filter some to the side that I think are good and might be worth trading for. However, I do look specifically for the figure that I've seen.
Yeah, so you see what matches with the vision, and if you sort of position yourself, well, I'll tell you what, let's make an observation roll.
Very well. So that okay. So it's 3 plus my observation. One success.
Excellent. So you sit and you look, and maybe just a quick glance around. It looks like he was indeed at a stall a couple over that's run by a Scavara, and you can see on this stall all manner of. It looks like they've gone to different parts of the cellar and just ripped out old cables or LEDs and bits of old batteries, and it's all sort of laid out on their table, like, look at my shinies kind of thing. And it looks like Bathos was looking at something, examining something there. And the way they've caught the face of this poet, this person, is absolutely stunning. But yeah, a couple of stalls over, this person saw him there.
Could I, by any chance, purchase this from you as well?
They nod. Yes, absolutely, yes. Do you want? And he begins like going through the sales pitch that you probably went through with them a dozen times or more to try and haggle their way up and down the value of whatever it is they want, and also exposure to the fabulous patrons of Coriolis above.
I tell you what, so that I can sell this on and make sure your name is out there, can you make sure that when I give this to a person of repute, they can see your name? So maybe sign it for me.
Yes, yeah, he's like, yes, and he finds, I don't know, an old Sharpie or something, Space Sharpie, and squiggles his artist mark on it.
That's perfect. And when my collectors see this, they will marvel at it and they will see who is responsible.
Yes, so good. And you can see, like, he shouts to somebody in the tent behind him and starts telling them, look, I've made more sales, look, kind of thing.
It's been wonderful to do business with you, Kandar.
Yes, yes, my friend. Oh, come soon. I will begin drawing more. And you see him like trying to find clean bits of drawing paper or whatever it is he's going to draw on next. Thank you. Good luck.
Oh, and before we go, I was just thinking one more thing. When it's quiet and possible, could you possibly do a really large? Have you ever done any street art?
No, I just do. I could try.
Yeah, I would say if you could create as large as possible, in a nice public place, this symbol, and I'll show them the symbol.
Oh, I could maybe put it on the side of the tent. Yes, I could. Is this something for the judge, for the icons? Yes, it's not quite right, but I could do this, yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we see what happens.
Yeah, he finds some, I don't know, he's got some paint or tar or something to make a picture with. Bits of old cartridges of space printers. He's going to start ripping them open to make a paint. I don't know. It's a weird market that ran by Scabaras.
How much? I'll ask him how much he would charge to do a drawing and how long it would take him of me.
Oh, you wish to sit for a portrait?
Perhaps.
You'd have, and he gestures to Kashar's
Veil.
Veil. You going to wear the veil?
Maybe. I have a follow-up question. So first of all, how long and how much?
So he gives a range of prices. All of them are under 60 burr. Like and a range of times from like, I don't know, 3 or 4 burr for a quick sketch to 60 burr for a fully detailed kind of thing.
Could he draw the picture in some way that isn't visible to human eyes? So is there like an ink that will only glow in infrared or ultraviolet?
I don't have those supplies. If you could
Does he have a lemon? You can make invisible ink out of a lemon.
He looks at Aleph and goes, "How much is a lemon?"
I can supply you with a lemon free of charge. If you do this for my friend.
I don't think I want to be drawn in a lemon, if I'm being honest. I think I want something slightly better than that.
Well, these
I have
guys.
a
A
lemon.
lemon is a luxurious.
Well, I
item.
have
Invisible
lemon
lemon.
juice.
It is a very. You remember you saw lemons in the emissary's fridge.
Right, okay. I mean, possibly. I'm going to hang behind and say, is there anyone in this market that sells some kind of ink that isn't visible to humans?
He shakes his head. He says, "No, but if you there are folks in the market not as specialized as Aleph who might be able to acquire." Like he looks at Aleph in like, I've learned the proper words. Acquire these kind of things for you for a fee. I could go and make introductions.
I'm going to give him 20 burr
20 burr?
and tell him to get the stuff and I'll be back.
You have to give me a few days, friend. Yes.
I would be dead by then.
I might not be back then, but I'll give him the 20 burr anyway.
All right.
I like the idea of Kishar having a picture of her actual face that is entirely invisible.
Okay. You have to put under UV.
Yeah, I don't really care. UV, heat, red light, whatever. No one would know. It's just a piece of paper, isn't
All right. So this market artist is gonna paint the symbol of the judge on the side of his tent.
I mean, one of us is going to be dead in a couple of days at some point anyway after that.
Yeah, and then go on the hunt for somebody who can get you all the things and maybe get them to get the things for you.
Yes.
And
Well,
then
what I want nothing to do with it. I'm going to give him the money and he gets the things.
Oh, okay. So he's going to do that, and then once he's done it, he will set about drawing a picture of you. But you'll need to sit for him, and he could do it in private in his tent if you're nervous about the veil.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Like I said, might not actually ever be back, but
Okay, he will. Many thanks, friends. Aleph, you bring such wonderful gifts, and
This is a man of great influence.
Kashar is a lady. Sorry.
A lady of great influence.
I would nod anyway. I mean, someone mistaking me for the wrong sex is perfect. It means you've no idea who I am. So
Feed's quite into Kashar's Emma.
paranoia, if we're being
Paranoia.
honest.
So yeah, he heads off to do all that. Thanks you profusely. You hear like a conversation in the tent where he's talking about like he's got a new commission and Aleph has bought more paints and more pictures and he's got to do another commission. We should tidy up because somebody might be coming in the tent, that kind of stuff. And
I mean, I don't look posh. Let's be honest.
No, Kashar does look posh by comparison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is not by any means a nice, tidy place. Some things look like the art is beautiful. And you probably can hear some folks playing music, which is comparable to stuff you heard in Alkmaar's, the big fancy restaurant at the top of Coriolis.
Okay.
But it's in a place of like jumble stores and
Yeah, I get it.
bric-a-bracs and people who are bartering art for food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so they scamper off to do the things, and the Skavara that Aleph has seen in the running the stall is talking to somebody, yipping and howling at another Skavara, and it looks like it's over a spool of copper wire.
I'm presuming it's likely that I know the market stall operator.
Yeah, if not directly, at least like this is what are they called? What could they be called? Howl? I don't know.
Howl?
Howl?
Do they have
Owl?
a moving castle?
They might do. Who is they? Yeah, they're just a scavenger. They go into bits of Coriolis that folks don't get to, bits of the cellar that have not yet been completely scavenged for anything usable. Bring back all the pretties and all the shinies, lay them out, and barter and charge for them. They have no real use for burr, so perhaps they quite happily barter with Aleph, because then they can get fancy spices, which then they can then in turn barter somebody else with for something else, and that kind of thing. Maybe this is the person who orders capybaras every now and again.
Howl, what's going on? What is the trouble here?
Howl, yes. Howl has... And he bats away this person this Skavara who's been bartering over the copper wire, and he bats him away, and like, Howl, yes, 17 meters of copper wire, yes.
There's a lot of copper wire.
Yes, all good. One line, Howl find, yes.
And this person is trying to take it from you.
This person only has dull, useless trade. And he literally looks at the person, shoots them in the face. Useless trade, yes, no. Yeah. You have capybara?
The capybara shipment should be arriving tomorrow.
Oh,
Excellent news.
yes.
How's business been if you're fighting over 17 meters of copper wire?
Has been good, yes. We did big scavenge down near cemetery slum.
Oh, that's not your usual patch, is it?
No, beasts live down there, but we went.
You find anything interesting?
Unused fiber optic. And he gestures to it on the table, like these probably 2-3 meter long strips of fiber optics.
That is really impressive. But what I may be interested in more than anything is what I will try and do is I'll try and match together what's on the stall now with what was on the stall in the picture and see if there's anything. And I'll choose the most notable thing that is on the picture that is not on the stall.
Make I think this would be a manipulation roll. If you do explain to the others, they can aid you.
Okay.
Do we think that this guy's found their hideout and that's where he's got all this new stuff?
Don't forget, you mentioned fiber optics before. Bathor was apparently scavenging them.
I will explain the situation to my associates here. What I'm trying to do is avoid for the moment showing this stall owner, just in case the picture itself.
All right.
Yeah.
I can give you a hand.
I don't understand why we're not just going straight for them. Like, have you seen this man? Just go find him. Like, I think we might be being a bit too cagey, but we can take the softy approach if you want for now.
I think there's going to be a soft approach followed by a very loud bang, if I'm honest, Zellian.
Don't worry.
Yes, so, that's a success. Oh, yeah, I have a success there.
So the thing that strikes you, the angle that the artist made was mostly concentrating on like the study of people and the figures and the form. But it does look like he's holding like a long cable in his hands. It does look like he's probably have been at least bartering or talking to the Skavarin about these cables.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in these cables. Have sold
Very
many.
popular item, yes. Yes, Howl has had many folks.
Oh,
talk.
I know one of my friends was looking for one of these cables, and I'll describe the person to him.
He has no things to trade. Nothing.
Has he
Everything
been here?
broken.
Has he been here often?
Recently, yes.
When was the last time he was here?
Maybe. And it's dark. There's no lights here. You know, this kind of thing. He goes, have eaten 2 times since he was here. Maybe. Yes.
Do you know where I could find him? I might give him something to trade for you if he's so keen to get, because I know how keen he is to get these fiber optics.
He leans forward and says, "No, you don't want to go find him. He lives in Labyrinth. Beast is down there. Not a place for Aleph. Aleph goes, Beast comes. No more capybara."
I promise you I will not go to Labyrinth.
I love the priorities there. If you die, I can't eat a massive rat.
Yeah, that's Hal's plan. Yeah.
Okay, my friend, so it seems as though your fellow here resides in a labyrinth. He's
Right.
here quite often, and he's looking to buy some fiber optic cable.
I think we should buy all the cable and all the associated McGubbins from this guy, because if this dude was trying to get cable but has nothing to trade, and this Sky, what's his name? Skyco?
Skavara.
Guevara was saying that it's broken, all this stuff's broken. Maybe he's looking to fix it, and that could be our in. So if we can like buy, I don't know, cables, batteries, fixings, screws, whatever we can from this guy, then we've got something at least to go, hey.
And even if not, we deny it to him if he actually has found something to trade.
Yeah, and if he comes back to go, oh, can I get something? And they go, oh, we sold it all to these guys. We can be like, well, we've got it now. Do you want to come trade with us? But yeah, just in case we run into him and he's like, I'd do anything for a X789 capacitor. And you'd be like,
A 3mm gauge fiber optic cable. Yeah.
I wish I remembered the place that Luke moans about going to.
Huh?
At the beginning of Star Wars, when they need some bits and he moans about going all the way to somewhere.
Yeah.
yeah, let's be Jawas.
Toshi?
So,
Toshi Station?
Toshi Station.
Toshi Station, yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Do I still have some of the, like I'd basically steal everyone's mobile phone?
Yeah,
Do I still have those on me?
probably. I mean, they're tiny items, aren't they?
I'll show them to Aleph and just like shrug as if to say, is he interested in these?
Mike personally interested in
No,
these.
him. No, I'm trying to be
Oh.
surreptitiously show you the things to see if he will trade for them.
Oh, very well.
Is this the sort of tech this guy's interested in? Because, he has a lot of wires and I have actual tech.
Yeah, the stuff on this table is scavenged crap. Mm-hmm. What you've got is stolen gold by comparison.
Yeah, that's why I don't really care about giving it away. I mean, half of it belongs to gangsters and ne'er-do-wells, so,
Yeah.
not carrying it around is fine by me.
I think this would be quite a suggestive thing. It's probably more wealth than he knows what to do with.
Okay. I do have... Actually, I've got 2 in tech, so I guess... Has anyone got a better skill in tech?
No.
No, you're the tech person.
Yeah, I'm just more the jack of some trades. I will barter with him for anything that might be used and something to put it in.
All right. Make a manipulation roll, but give yourself +2.
I don't know why I volunteer myself for this, because I have nothing in manipulation.
I've got good manipulation.
Oh, in which case, I will just tell Zellian what I want and hand him the stuff that we're going to get rid of.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to bargain all of it with him. But yeah, I deliberately gave her nothing in manipulation, because she never wants anybody to talk to her.
Carvis has probably got better, but I've got at least 3 dice.
I can trade for you if you wish, Kassar. It's fine.
Kashar, is she doing that thing where she must do in other places? Like, I've got stuff, but I want to buy the baklava, but I don't want to talk to the man, but I've got to go and buy and that kind of face.
I don't care if Zellian wants to do it or Carvis wants to do it.
I'll do it. Fuck it. I'm not rolled dice tonight. Let's do it.
You get a bonus because we're offering way over the odds.
Yeah, you have a +2. You just have a +2.
Here comes the great trade. Haha.
D66.
2 6s.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, 66.
So Howell is amazed that you have like this working tabula that is charged and connects to Coriolis Wi-Fi. Like, hasn't immediately been blocked. And he's like, yes, and immediately, like, he begins searching and it brings up, like, I don't know, space YouTube, Coriolis YouTube, which is just capybara in a hot tub is what he's searched for.
I thought you were going to say, like, he's watching the equivalent of Paw Patrol going, yes.
Yes, look, this one has helicopter. Yes, look. That's my Paw Patrol knowledge there. No, so immediately is like, look at that little capybara, he's in the bath. Look. I saw. Yes, eat apples, capybara. Yes. Yes, you can have all this. And he just literally just pushes crap at you. All this for you. Sold. Everything sold. Not the meters of copper. That's mine. That's not good. Yes, eat the apples, capybara. Look at this duck. It is trying to eat the capybara. No, and he just goes off.
I'll fill my bag full of
I'm not sure
worthless
if
crap.
he made his day or ruined his life.
He's just delighted that he can now watch capybara
Okay.
in a bath.
You're giving him access to the internet. We've
Yeah.
ruined him.
Yeah.
He is Skavara 832, and he's gonna leave good comments on capybara videos, but downvote anything that doesn't have a capybara in.
So would I know what is being referred to by the labyrinth?
So yes, much lower than here. So where we are, we're in the Skavara market, which is probably as low as Aleph will go, or needs to go. A couple of levels lower is a place that you will no doubt have heard of, especially people traveling through the cellar. It's what's been mentioned as the slum cemetery. It's where anybody who lives here in Coriolis goes and dumps the dead. You don't want dead people lying around on your floor. And it's also a place that apparently somebody brought a plant from Kua and now that's kind of taken over a bit. There's moss and mold, and it's a bit icky. But it's a great place to put bodies because they decompose and feed the plant and that kind of stuff. And so the crime gangs also come down, dump bodies. They'll never be found. They're not like jettisoning them into space or putting them in the recycling of Coriolis. So dead bodies can disappear in there, right? And then a level or two below that it's like the Warren of Coriolis. It was made from the Zenith, the ship. The station was made from the Generation ship. And this is the part where they've just needed to create space between the habitable sections of Coriolis and the fusion reactor. Like, so it's just a labyrinth. Like, we thought coming downstairs to dead ends and having to cut holes in walls to get to places was confusing. This place is literally just the bits of the old ships jammed together to create space, to create a buffer. So there's no lighting in there. There's minimal life support. People do live there. It's a place where people really, like, if we thought the Skavara market was low, these wandering waifs and strays who have made their homes down there are probably, like, it's cannibals and stuff is the rumors. Like, if you were to chat with people and that kind of stuff. And it's a labyrinth. This beast that Howl talks of, the rumor is that somebody who brought the plants from Kua also bought a beast from Kua, and it now eats the people down there. But this is the place where crazy folk come, and rumors are rumors, and how much of it is true? Nah.
Is there a Goblin King?
There might be, yeah. Probably. A Skavara king.
All right, then. I mean, that certainly sounds like a place where we can shoot stuff and keep Zellian happy.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to go kill a beast to find these guy?
No, I just sort of thought that if we go in, it might find us.
I mean,
but if
I'm all for killing a random beast. Like, don't get me wrong. I just don't see how it fits in with the trajectory of what we're supposed to be doing. I thought we'd come in here, finding this guy, getting answers, getting out. I didn't
He's
realize
in the labyrinth,
he
isn't
lives in the labyrinth.
He lives in, but he comes out, doesn't he? Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to shit on Aleph at all for getting us this one crazy guy that lives in a labyrinth, but maybe there's a contact that's not a crazy guy that lives in a labyrinth. Like, have we thought about potentially not going, all right, the first guy we know about sings some weird song, harvests vibratop coil, lives in a labyrinth with a beast. Let's go. Maybe we go, or see this guy here that's got a normal job and lives in a house and we can go and talk to.
Doesn't happen down here, Zillion.
Maybe that's the guy we got. I mean, I might be just being crazy, but
It's a fair point
Like-
about asking, are there any, like, known associates or anything like that?
like, surely there can't just be one crazy guy who lives in a labyrinth as the only
Well-
one that's seen these. Because how would they only be seen to this crazy guy? Sorry, I'm just a bit puzzled. Like,
I imagine that if you are
mean,
heavily armed and armoured, you can go to the worst of the worst place and not care about anything, because no one's physically capable of doing you any damage.
I'm all about traversing the oubliette, but I just think, yeah, it's going to be a crazy journey if we can avoid it. Maybe,
Well,
I don't know.
We know about Bathos, so we could
Mm-hmm.
possibly ask if Bathos has any friends that anybody's seen, see if they're anywhere else other than the labyrinth. But
It sounds as though he doesn't have any friends. If you have friends, you don't tend to live in a labyrinth with a beast.
Yeah, I think we, I don't know, unless we can spend a bit of time maybe trying to find another lead, going through a murder labyrinth to fight a great beast of Kua. It's not really something that Zellion signed in for. I've seen the beasts of Kua. I kind of grabbed my metal arm a bit. Like, I've been there, and maybe I don't want to go back into the dark in a tight corner in strange tunnels with beasts from Kua, because I know what they do and I've seen what they do, and maybe that's just not my plan. All right, if you're going in, then maybe I'll just go and talk around and see what I can see, and I'll catch back up with you, or not, because you'll be eaten by a beast. That's cool, right? Maybe there's someone else around here, and I just sort of look around. I just grab a random guy. You, what do you know about anything?
So you lean over and you grab this guy, and you hoist him up, and you notice like instead of like his face is flat, like he doesn't have a nose. He has like a set of gills.
What the fuck's? Everyone's a mutant.
It's a humanite.
Yeah, and
the
you
other guy.
hoist this guy up, and you go, "You, what do you know?" And he kind of just goes, what do you want to know?
Throw him away.
Falls to the floor.
But yeah, I mean, we could do that some more, right?
Yes, you could see how effective it was.
Cool. I grab another guy. You.
No, after you hoist someone up, everybody is just like, oh, like they just
I was hoping
spreads
to buy
out.
popcorn. I mean, so all we know is that they're down here somewhere, and this is the only lead we have, isn't it?
Do these just look like normal fiber optic cables?
I meant Bathos is the only lead.
Bathos is the only lead we've got.
But that was a good
Problem is, the
joke,
judge had no lead to us. We don't know the cellar at all. The only lead we've got is a madman in a labyrinth,
I don't
and
think
everyone
he's
else here
mad.
now is terrified of Zellion.
He's there on purpose, isn't he? I mean, not to quote the guy with gills, but we're the fish out of water here. We're not in our normal territory.
Yeah,
There's
but
very
I
few
don't
humans.
doubt we can find where this place is, but without going to this crazy man. I just feel that we're going to end up in the labyrinth one way or the other.
Why is Bathos crazy? I don't understand.
Let me just sit down.
Yeah, hear his poem.
it's
Might be like
so-
a religious thing,
So
like the Psalms.
somewhere in this market,
he's also
you can
rambling
find
on
a
about
place.
fiber optic cable.
Yeah, you can find a place that serves tea, and something passable. Not obviously not up to Aleph's standard, but
Capybara in a bun.
El Rato Burger. Ooh, Alexa. That's a Demolition Man quote. There we go. That's what it's in my head like in the place with the scraps from Demolition Man.
That's a great film.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find a place to sit down, have tea. Unnamed burgers are 2 burr. Named meat is 5 burr.
This one's called George.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, like Prudence.
Yeah.
At least you could hope it was a cow.
I just have an issue with going into a dark, secluded place that I don't know when I know there is a beast in there.
Well,
I've done that. It doesn't work.
Would a scanner help?
Yeah, so I can know it's coming out the goddamn wall.
they're
Look.
everywhere.
Yeah, an environmental scanner would certainly give you like forewarning of
Can I borrow 1600 bear
What for?
jetpack?
No,
Oh,
no, you can't.
Carver's in dad mode. Nix is the
I mean, I don't think I'd trust a jetpack from down here.
that's the only way I'm going in if I know I can jetpack out.
I mean, I don't
Strap
know
a
where we got
satchel
the
charge to
idea
your
that the
back,
guy
that'll
is
put you up in the air pretty
crazy. I
quick.
think he's just like off the grid as much as possible. I mean, what better place to hide the sanatorium behind the myths and the mystic terrors of the beast?
I don't think a person is of sound mind if they choose to live in a place where a thing called the Beast exists.
But
I-
we're only taking their word it exists.
He rambles strange poetry and he barters for random bits of
I thought
fiber
about
optic
that.
coil.
And what if it's a
the
map?
bartering for fiber optic coil and things down here is not unusual.
It's still unusual. I think
Only
this
if you
is-
can't go up or don't want to go up for security reasons, so you're forced to rely on the trading pool around here. But what if that thing was a map?
What the first door, the
room,
second door?
Yeah, what if that's a map? And that's
Well,
just
then-
how he's remembering his way back, because it is a labyrinth, apparently.
Yeah, I think there's if you're a sensible person, you can sing a map in your head like the first one's green, the second one's blue, third one don't touch, falls for you, kind of thing. Fine, but you don't go, oh, it screams at me and shouts, and oh, the third one drips and cries, and it's all warm and wet. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
all right, fair enough.
That's
That
just-
is a little off the hook. Yeah.
Door
He's-
number 6 says click, and I say die. Hatch, die.
Yeah. that
he's
might
nuts.
just
He
be a
lives in a
trap.
labyrinth, and there is a monster in there. None of those three things are anything I signed up for.
But if you find the person who knows the labyrinth, maybe you can avoid the monster.
But he's in the labyrinth with the monster. That's the
No,
problem.
does not stay in the labyrinth. That's what we've been kind of saying. And particularly, what might get him to come out is knowledge that there is a huge, weird, arcane symbol, such as that he's been interested in.
That's true.
On a-
actually.
Do we
on a
wait for him to
tent.
come out then? Do we just kind of lure him?
So the artist, you can see they're painting like this big circle. There
That was
is
kind of the plan.
part of the hilt of the sword is already up on the side of this tent.
I agree. I would rather wait for him to come out, and then what will like
The other thing is that this person knows where they are, which means he's one of the few people who has seen them, which means that they are probably past the labyrinth.
sorry, this person.
The
Bathos.
Bathos.
Okay, yeah.
No, I
If
believe I
Bathos-
specifically asked for the closest person who has seen one of these symbols. And there are many people in the way between where I was and these things.
I think he's the closest person, and he's really far down.
Yeah, you're right. The others are going to be further in. I think the beast is a myth, but I guess we'll find out when it bites my face off.
Well, we can always implore the ability to run away very fast.
Jetpack.
While we're sat here, can I also see if I can do a clairvoyancy against these vibrands?
Sure, yeah.
I have some in my pocket. I can show you them if you want to see, like, get a better connection.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll hand one
Sure.
to Aleph.
Yeah, please make a Mystic Powers test.
Right. I'm just gonna like pretty much dig my heels in, but like I'm not going in the dark against Beast from Kua.
It's one success.
Okay. So you concentrate on these rounds, these vibro rounds, and you see.
Sorry, is it the origin? Is the background of these? Because I don't make. I mean, it would be the same number of successes in the same roll, but it might be an artificer check instead.
Well, it's up to you. We can either clairvoyance, in which case we will find the nearest set of vibro rounds that are not these that Zellion has given you, or you can artificer and know more, like who made them, where they came from.
The origin of these vibrands.
Yeah, but Zellion has already said his
They're from Kua.
weaponsmith friend thinks
Right.
that the materials are from Kua. So
Finding another set is more useful, I think.
more your knowledge of your abilities would probably suggest
Finding out some more new ones is better, and it's not necessarily that interesting as to how they've been made or where they've come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah.
fine then. I'll stay with the clairvoyance.
Okay, so you find yourself sort of looking over a hangar bay, a disused hangar bay. It's very dim. As your vision kind of focuses, there are a couple of munition crates stacked in a corner of this bay. You can see what looks like stasis pods, like things people use to travel. If you were in a ship and you were going to go a long distance, the cryo, what did they call them? The stasis coffins, hypersleep coffins, kind of thing. But they are stacked up behind these munitions, like in a storage area. Some of them have got white crosses on, and some of them have got black crosses on. there's also some cages, and you can see that there are people just sat in these cages. One person like walks past your vision, flips open the box, and is maybe has a tabula, like they're doing some sort of inventory. They're wearing. Let me see. Flip. They're wearing like an armor, like a beefed up exosuit, and you can see on the shoulder, like it, if this was medieval armor, it'd be like a pauldron kind of thing. This symbol that Carvers gave to you, that the artist is painting on the stuff, and they pick up some of these, and as the vision follows these vibro ammo across the hangar bay, you can see one side of the room has prayer mats laid out, and they all sort of face the huge hangar bay sort of doors that are there. All these prayer mats, and there's maybe, how many prayer mats are there? Let me see.
We should potentially ask Aleph to use his talents on the beast and see if there is such a thing.
Possibly. I'm not sure.
There are about 6 prayer mats laid out. As your vision, because you find a direction, not just where they are. As your vision kind of sends you this information, it drops down, and you know it's making this twisting, weird, fast moving kind of third eye pattern through the labyrinth, past empty open space, and to the very side of Coriolis. These people that were walking around were in their full exosuits. The people who were in the cages were not, and you could see like patches. You think they're close to the fusion reactor. Like these people, unprotected people, they're suffering from radiation. You gather it's quite close to the fusion reactor.
So
I will relay all of that information, but frame it as having come from a source that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Do EVA suits have jetpacks?
No.
Not even little air things.
Hey, all right. Exosuit and hand jets. Let's go outside the system and through and down. Avoid the labyrinth altogether. Go in the hole from the outside, right? Spacewalk. Spacewalk?
I don't think
I would rather spacewalk.
you would rather spacewalk.
I
could
actually
take
think that's a fine idea as well, because they ain't going to expect that in the slightest.
Exactly.
It depends how.
Can
good
Aleph get us a
fix-
bunch of exosuits?
And does he have a good fix? Because we can't just go outside the station. In fact, we would need a place to get outside the station as well.
And then a place to get back in.
Well, we're going to get back in the hole from that they get out of.
Yeah.
There is Aleph saw a hangar door.
On the side of the station, they have a hangar door open to space.
It
so
is
they
a
get
bit
in and out of.
obvious, and we could possibly apply some subterfuge, because 6 on 4, and they've got exosuits or skeletons, whatever you said they were.
Exosuits, yeah.
As in, do you mean an outside spacesuit,
Yeah. No,
or like a loader
I-
thing?
no, an exoshell. I think it's
Not
called
like a power
exoshell in
loader.
the book.
Yeah.
It's not a power loader.
I would rather. I mean, either way we approach it, 6 on 4. Whether we go through the labyrinth and have to fight a beast and get messed up.
If you
or
get
we go-
Bathos on side, that's 5 against.
Oh yeah, the
6.
crazy guy with his fiber optic
Oh,
cable.
I thought he was one of those guys. And sure, why not? Yeah, I think we could. He'd probably.
I'll tell you what. All right, you 4 go through the labyrinth. I'll come round the side as an ambush. Always thinking strategy.
Nobody expects Zellion through the hangar door.
Exactly. And all it'll take is a small investment of a jetpack and an exosuit and probably a drill to get through the side of the station.
And possibly your dignity.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Celian doesn't have any dignity.
I don't need that.
No.
But, man.
I'm not going to force you to go down into a labyrinth, Stallion. I understand you fought creatures worse or as bad as this before.
The thing is,
Like-
Carvers, if you go, I go. I just want any other options to be explored before we do. I'm not letting you have your life ripped from you like my men dying, screaming in agony, their limbs torn from them as they live to see the creatures eat their very flesh. Like me, like when the hungry blades of a mouth are over your face and you can feel them gnawing at your own eyeball, and you can see the inside of their mouth as they start biting in your face. It's not a good fate to think about your friends going through.
No.
So
I have only just realised that Bathos is not one of the bad guys, and Bathos just lives in the labyrinth.
all right.
I think that, yes, waiting for Bathos, and we can just trade this shit for a trip to where we want to go.
I'm
Around the
happy
monster.
to wait for him to return here, but we have to put a time limit on it. We have a certain amount of time before.
All right. Okay. Compromise.
Well, we know that Pathos was here only 2 foods ago. Now,
Yeah.
he doesn't eat that often, but it can't be that long ago.
How about we wait for Bathos for as long as it takes for Aleph to source us some exoskeletons and jetpacks? Deal?
If that's how you want to, I don't know how we're going to go about getting around
We'll find a
Coriolis.
way. It's
I've never done any real 0G before. I don't know if you have.
yeah, 100 times.
Basic Legion training, isn't it?
It is. 0G kickboxing.
I do worry about.
I have a talent to buy. I will quite happily buy 0G experience.
I feel. Well, we need to talk to Bathos before we think about the next stage. I guess we could. I don't know who we could talk to in the meantime for any other additional information. There's no real contacts down here. It's kind of. Aleph is our only real contact down here.
So far, he's
And-
the only other humanoid we've seen, really.
Yeah.
Everyone else has been
And
It's
Aleph
clear
is-
that
hand throw.
they're not using the cellar as a base. They're just basically they've found a secret way in that they've built a hangar as
Yeah,
far
it's,
down.
it's a
away.
nest in this disaster area.
So,
All right. I don't think we can afford exosuits, if I'm honest, Celian. I don't think we could even.
well, if Aleph knows where to get them, we can acquire them. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Surely the guards or someone has got maintenance must have them if anything breaks on the side of the build. Like if one of the radar dishes goes out on the station, they need to go out and fix it. They don't just go, well, leave it. They've got to go out and fix it. Well, that
I mean,
must be
I am quite slippery, you might say. I can get into some places, but the problem is I do not want to lose my reputation. I have spent some kind of time, quite a significant amount of time building.
Well, all you have to do is tell me where they are and then walk away, and I'll do the rest. I've got a very good ability to remove property from places where it might not necessarily need to be removed from. So
It's true, they do have that kind of reputation. Their captain was not the sort of person to leave things
yeah,
of a precious nature
Yeah.
in the valuable situations.
if it's not bolted down, it's mine.
Yeah.
if it is
But yeah, we
bolted
would
down,
we
we'll
wouldn't
take
put
the
your name
box.
to it. If you can just go, maybe this warehouse at this time, and then we go like, okay, you were never here.
So,
That's all I'm saying.
assuming we get the information from Bathos about the location of this
It's
base of
the
operation.
route, isn't it? Like if Bathos can confirm either a route around the beast or there is no beast, and we can trade that equipment he wants for a way through, then fine, yeah. If
Yeah.
he can't, or he says, "Oh yeah, there's a raging,
Yeah.
man-eating,
if worse
multi-tooth."
comes to worse, we can use that information and I don't know your planet, Zelian, because I have no idea how to do space stuff whatsoever.
I mean, would you
that's
not
cool.
notice us coming in if we showed up in spacesuits?
That's
Oh,
another
we can
problem.
paint the thing
You
on,
get
though.
shot in space and it bursts a suit. I don't.
Well,
that's
I
death.
imagine if the hangar doors are open and they're all in spacesuits, is exactly the same situation for them.
No, the hangar doors aren't open. The prayer mats all face towards the hangar door.
Ah, right.
They're
reckon
in
we
the
could do
suits
it.
because
Take a
of the
space
radiation.
welder.
They're in the suits because they're close to the reactor.
I reckon, like, either way, if we come in through the labyrinth, where they're probably going to have guards posted because that's the obvious way people will come in, then we'll get seen by guards. If we magtech to the side of the hangar doors and then data gen it open, and then we could like massively
We'd kill everybody. We killed the guys.
destabilize the pressure, suck them all out into space. Job done.
And all the people in cages would die.
Yeah, Kashara's not down for that.
People in cages. Who cares about them?
Well, one of them might
One
be
of them
Noah.
might be Nor. Yeah.
Ah, shit.
See, we need a guerrilla rescue. Like Guile is our
James,
friend.
James, just think of the XP you'll get from facing
But
your personal
explosive
for
decompression.
facing your personal problem.
Yeah, Italian is fighting a losing battle, but I'm gonna have to try.
All right. Well, why
All
don't
right,
we
fine.
wait for Bathos?
No, there's
see what
there's
info
definitely
Bathos
XP.
has.
Acquired
Think of
through
the bath
this.
salt. Every time you say bathos, I just think bath salts. Like this guy's just crazy on bath salts.
What's
So what I would suggest is I think the idea of buying the, because I'm perfectly happy to do this, so you are, we have acquired them already, these fluorescent tubes. That between that and the symbol that we have placed here, if we now simply come back to my headquarters, I would be very surprised if Bathos does not turn up.
Yeah, let's wait for him to see what he has to say, and then do
Very
everything in our power to avoid going in the dark against a beast from Kua.
Yeah, I don't want to get eaten by anything. Like,
I already have one, so I'm not doing it again.
Yeah. I just would like to find out what's going on with the emissary and hopefully get our money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Newer as well.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm here to try and rescue Noor, so I'd rather not rapidly decompress her into outer space, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's more recovering, not rescuing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one evil replacing another. We're stopping her torture and experimentation with a nice explosion into
Delian,
space.
stop making excuses. I know why you don't want to go down there. I understand.
Yeah, I know.
But
Look,
it's gonna come to at some point. We're gonna either have to avoid. We either gonna. The two options are we go around it and don't encounter this thing, or it exists and we go and fight in it. These are the two things. So I need you to be mentally prepared for both.
fine. Aleph, can you find me some really top quality booze? Because I'm gonna
I
need
can
some.
get you some top quality booze.
Because that's what I'm gonna need to get through this. I need to maintain that level of just.
Just
I
I,
can't be
drunken
sober at all.
acceptingness.
Yeah.
I tell you what I will do then. I've got a fair amount of cash. Let's say 2,500 bear. We can spend it on perhaps a jetpack or some weapons that might help us fight
Ooh,
Q and
Can I get a flamethrower? Because that's what they fight on a bug hunt, right?
yeah, space stations have flamethrowers.
They've got to no. I don't.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be firing. If we're going to aliens again, if we're going to go into the reactor and I start firing off a Vulcan carbine and I hit the reactor core, not good for the station.
Oh,
so
it's bound to be shielded, surely. Or maybe not actually. if
We
it's
may
leaking
not be.
radiation.
We have no idea.
small arms firing flamethrowers. That's what we need.
Okay, fine, yeah. I guess we will use Alice contacts to go shopping, but I'm going to go and get that guy to draw me in case I do die and don't come back.
Like one of the French girls.
Not
So
quite.
are you going to do this while we wait for Bathos
Yes, I am. Yes.
to
yes.
appear? Right.
All right. So yeah, he's acquired some infrared things, infrared paint, or the equipment to do that. He's painted this symbol on the side of his
That
tent.
looks pretty quick.
I think it's taken him a couple of hours. Like he's mixing up the paint in a pot. He's got a pair of like goggles so he can see what he's painting, and he's drawing you like an algal girl. That's where you're from, right? Algol?
It is indeed Algol, yes.
Except maybe not, because you're not wearing the helmet, and Algol is the demon planet,
Yeah,
which
like
is terrible.
cowering from the
So,
heat and the...
Yeah.
1800 bear for a flamethrower, if we can get one.
As Carvus and Zelian and Aleph are sat at this nice kind of cantina, nice for a Skavaran market level of cantina.
I'm just in awe all the time. There's this weirdness of this place.
Yeah, just like, can I stare at the humanites? This guy has got wings. What's going on?
All these soulless people.
Yeah.
Like the Emissary.
Don't remind me about that.
Keeping an eye on Howell's stall, especially as they sit there and go, the capybara, he is eating more apples. Yes, this is good. Look. And, more Skavara are coming round, and they're like, no, play the one where the duck bites its head again, over and over. Like, this is a delight. They've got Wi-Fi. It's brilliant.
I mean, if I really want something, I can probably trade some more tablets for that flamethrower.
Get me a flamethrower and I'm in. But other than that,
Like, none of the money I have is my own. I have 350 bear, and the other
I've
2,500 was somebody else's.
I've got, how much have I got?
So as they're doing this, as they're like laughing at Capybara on Coriolis Tube, and they've subscribed to Capybara Daily on Chirper, and all that kind of stuff, there's a human comes up, and he slams down on the table that had all the stuff on, but you guys have got it. He slams down like a sack of stuff. And Howl is like, no, too late, bye, and just goes back to his stuff. And the guy is like, what do you mean? It's too late. I brought the things you asked. He's like, nah, have capybara tube now, bye. and it's the guy, it's Bathos.
Yep.
It's the guy you've wanted to catch.
and
he-
convenient.
Yeah. It's not convenient. It's been like 6 or 7 hours of tea and Kishar getting a painting and that kind of stuff. So there has been opportunity and we can do it in between sessions. But yeah, this guy, Howl goes, no, bye. And the Skavara crowd around the thing. And he just sort of picks up the sack and is like, you've got none? Do you know anybody? Nah. And literally, like that talk to the hand thing. And Bathos...
Sort of, look, can I see if I can catch his eye and see this Bathos guy and just hold up this like big bundle of fiber optics?
Like a wodge of fiber optics. Yeah. So you hold that up, he looks at you, and he points at you with like... kind of thing.
Making friends 101.
Yeah. And I think as it's 10:05, that's where, as Bathos points at Carvus like, you! And Howl is like, nah. Look, I've watched this 10 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
All capybara sound like Zathras.
Yeah, I thought you sounded like Zathos. Yeah. If nothing else, we've increased the enjoyment and delight down here 1,000-fold by introducing Capybara Tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the end of this week.
Awesome.
Next week we will find out if Bathos is as bonkers as you think he is, and if there really is a beast that Zelian has to fight.
Probably.
Well, if
There
Bathos
will be-
confirms beast, I will buy you a flamethrower.
Oh yeah, we can have done that. We will go through the book in a minute and have a look.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching, folks at home. No raid tonight because I think what was it we were raiding? We were raiding Garblag. Matt from Free League was playing Masks of Narliothep. They are on a break while Matt preps for the New York session of Masks of Narliothep. In the meantime, I know, and I'll put the link in chat, some of the guys on there are playing, doing some world building of this, Worlds Without Numbers. You want to show it to the other folks?
Yeah.
Worlds Without Numbers. So if you head over to twitch.tv/Garbag Games. You can catch up with Pete and Ben, who are playing that, which is great fun. I love Worlds Without, I love Stars Without Numbers. And so Worlds Without Numbers is the fantasy version. Thank you very much, David, for joining us.
Yes, thank you. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
That was
I
brilliant.
love the characters. Cool
I love
concept.
Aleph. Are they going to come down into the further parts of the cellar with us?
Oh, next week's gonna be great when I get to do my like proper Gorman game over, man. Oh, it's
Game over, man.
Hicks.
I'm happy to come along in. Aleph would stop at the point of the labyrinth.
Okay.
Aleph's not going to put himself in physical danger, but I'm happy to come along up until that point.
Okay.
Until you point.
Sure.
Just, all you have to do is make sure you come back and get me a flamethrower. That's what I need.
Okay. So next week we will meet Bathos and we'll do some of that. I'm going to play the credits now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back same bat time, same
Bye-bye.
Coriolis channel.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.